Welcome once again to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, DB Smiley, as we embark on another night of adventure, a night of wonder. The stars are out, the stage is set, as we see some Division B action featuring Jailbait and INSOMNIACS. Dunkstick, your name is pronounced Dunkstick. With this, we're going to see Jailbait versus INSOMNIACS. Two teams kind of in the middle of the pack, Division B, in that, I believe, 3 to 6 range. You know, playoff seeding's pretty important. Jailbait confident that they're one of the top 3 teams in Division C. I talked to them today. But, here in the next game series, this is my first cast where Anna is allowed. So Anna is going to be available in this game. And she doesn't get banned, despite the pretty long hover. Despite that, she does not get banned. So it is a garage ban. Apparently, some people are pretty happy with that ban. I took French in middle school. So Dunkstick is telling me his name is pronounced Wienerhaven. So I'll do my best, sir. I will do my best. As, now heading in to INSOMNIACS ban. What will they ban next? Well, or first, in this case. It'll be interesting to see. Now, INSOMNIACS, they love to do really, really hyper-aggressive play. More so than a lot of teams. To the extent that they'll go into even triple assassin sets, which is always fun. But it is an ETC ban, so kind of two super meta-E type tanks banned out. Lot of control, lot of potential to set up big blow-ups. As teams continue to meme each other with emotes. Meme on. Memers, meme on. But, you know, both these teams very likely making the playoffs in Division B. It would take something of a collapse, really, for either team to not make the playoffs. But this is still an important match. This helps you kind of determine where you belong in the pecking order of Division B. As I pull up the standings here, we see that INSOMNIACS is currently sitting at number 3, Jailbait sitting at number 6. Both teams have played 6 games. INSOMNIACS, 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. Jailbait, 2 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. So very comparable, just 2 points separating these two teams. Sorry, yeah, 2 points. So INSOMNIACS sitting at 11, Jailbait sitting at 9. But Nazeebo going to be the first pick. This is Jailbait's specialty. They have a really good Nazeebo. He did get some changes today, though. So we'll see if it plays out. His Toady Toad build got a little bit of a nerfy nerf. We're going to see an Uther responding. Uther can be very strong, but he doesn't do well against poke damage and sustain. So this suggests either an attempt to build a very aggressive comp, or a second support. But it is going to be Uther Vala. That almost certainly is a second support. But this is INSOMNIACS we're talking about. That may not necessarily be the case. But now, Uther Vala, pretty strong kind of opening gambit. What is the response? Do you try to go into some type of poke damage to stress Uther out and risk being dove on? Do you maybe try to deny some kind of hyper carry by grabbing one yourself, maybe with a Rhaegar? Or perhaps a strong tank that doesn't really have long-lasting stuns. Anubarak can be strong against Uther because Anubarak is very unlikely to proc Guardian of the Ancient Kings. And so it forces out a cleanse. That's as opposed to Arthas. Arthas being a tank who does AoE roots, which really can do strong work against Uther. Not to say Arthas is bad, Just against Uther, he loses a little value. But we are seeing the Lucio and the Varian. Lucio, definitely back in the meta. His speed can make it really challenging on Vala to get clean poke. It can be a good counter to an Ariel comp, which Insomniacs might be showing. Varian, I haven't seen as much Varian of late. But he's still pretty strong. If anything, I've been seeing more of his other builds recently. But Greymane ban, trying to deny the easy blow-up to Jailbait. Greymane, a very strong assassin. We are seeing the Ariel ban hovered. And it's going to be locked in. So trying to deny the most obvious double support. I do think you could see something, though, like a Brightwing here. And maybe even a Mathael, with Mathael still up on the table. It's unlikely to see Varian as a solo tank because he doesn't get taunt until level 10. And certainly if he's not going taunt, he just is not really a solo tank. So do we maybe see a Mathael here, paired with maybe a Brightwing, who did get some changes today, or, you know, a Malfurion would probably not be great. Morales could work. Although that's really two single-target healers. As far as AoE healers you're looking at with Ariel Band, you're looking at Rhaegar as a little bit. We're going to see Diablo Kael'thas. So if they are going into a second support, and I think they are, it's going to be on the back side. But they do have a lot of blow-up potential. Diablo's going to hyper-engage, and everyone's going to try to follow up on him. Now, something that Insomniacs should do with this is bring out a Leoric. The Leoric can set up the Entomb that both locks a target in and gives Diablo the chance to get some free stuns off, especially with talents at 13 to 16 doing quite a bit of damage to that. It's an option. But a solo support Uther into a Nazeebo means you have to win the game before level 20. Or you have to really deny Nazeebo soaking. One of the two. So I still think the second support's likely, although that does leave a solo frontline Diablo with Uther as kind of an awkward off-tank. But here comes the Lunara Anubarak. Yeah, at this point, I don't think you can stick with the solo support Uther. But the key is, there's no real blow-up if Varian goes taunt. Do we maybe see a Colossus Smash to try to get blow-up with the Lucio to disengage if they don't get the kill they want? It's possible. A lot of options at play. I think taunt's still the safest, but this is definitely kind of a slow poke comp from Jailbait so far. And it can work into an Uther if he's the solo support. So Insomniacs has to think about it. Do they want to be hyper-aggressive, which is difficult to do into a Lucio? Or do they want to just let Kael'thas and Vala control the shrine while Diablo is just that ever-present threat of a blow-up? Let's see. 5 seconds on the pick. It's going to be Dahaka. So it is a solo support Uther into a Lunara Nazeebo. Bringing in Dahaka for that macro play. But, man, are they... Insomniacs, they're going to have to really do a good job following up on their tanks. They have to make fights short. If fights are not short, it puts them in a really bad spot. But we'll see. As we take just a brief break heading in through the loading screen. We'll be right back.
Battle begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We cannot tarry.
Prepare yourselves for the slaughter. Summoned an arcane punisher. Red team's punisher has fallen.
Red team draws first blood.
I did it again. I forgot to turn my mic on. My goodness. My goodness. I do it every time. Yep. I turn my mic off in between games so I can cough and drink and la 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 la, and I forget to turn it back on. My bad, teams. But strong start here for Insomniacs. Varian, though, committed to that soak, just trying to get to level 10 as quick as he can. That Lion's Claw is stacking up rather nicely, Lion's Maw. As we turn our attention mid. That Skybound Whisk can be valuable around the shrines. You know, just getting that vision of the wall can be useful. Now, we are seeing the double W talents, so Live by the Sword and Shield Wall. So it could just be that Not seeing a lot of fast auto attackers. Vala is fast, but, you know, can switch targets. Maybe not wanting to go with the parry talent at 1, or maybe just wanting to have a little bit of extra blow up with the taunt. But I still expect to see taunt come in from the Varian. Really, because it's going to come down to how well Insomniacs can keep up with this Lunara and Nazebo poke damage. Just kind of checking the lanes. Dahaka doing pretty well against this Varian. It's led to about a half-level lead, just the overall soak from Insomniacs. Siege Camp now being picked up, though, by Jailbait. They're picking theirs up a little bit later, and camps can be such that you pick yours up later, you win, but Bruiser not getting picked as Lunara actually gets picked off by the combination of Wienerhaven and Czar Salesman. But, taking a look now with the Lunara pick at a great time. Insomniac's going to get an early start on this shrine. A little bit of an awkward position for Junkrat. He's eating a lot of poke, throws out the Toads, gets quite a bit of damage with that. Toads stacking fairly nicely. And going with Toads of Hugeness as well. But already the shrine, 27 done. This is going to be an easy shrine going over. And without the Bruiser camps picked up, Dahaka can really push in. You're going to see Wienerhaven lands a good hook just to get some extra damage onto Frag Stellar. Does well with it. Level 10's coming in. There's the APOC. Divine Storm is the choice. Ooh, and that's going to secure the kill onto Lunara. We do have the Isolation being taken. And we have the Rain of Vengeance being taken. Kael'thas still hovering? Are they thinking? Dare they dream about a Pyroblast game? Let's see. But, pushing in on mid-fort while Punisher's bottom. Punisher, you know, not gonna chunk that fort down to about half, but getting value, and Junkrat comes in to defend a little bit late, and is gonna pay for it. Good follow-up damage. And that is the 4th kill. And now this is going to allow a steal on the Bruisers. And Varian needs to be careful here, because he could very well get rotated on. There is no wall, and that permits Diablo to be a bit aggressive even while the fort's still standing. Especially with this Summoner camp. And Varian does indeed back off. Insomniac's doing really well so far. But this is a very late game comp on the side of Jailbait, as you see them clear up top lane. Lunara hits big power spikes at 13-16 in terms of her damage output. We do have a Lucio who hits that huge healing spike at 16. And then, of course, you have the biggest of them all, Nazebo. And he's stacking pretty well, up to 104. Only need to get to, I believe, 150. So, Vile Infection going to be able to do quite a bit. And keep in mind, they actually buffed those Voodoo stacks. So while he has a lower health pool initially, stacking that Voodoo, doing that Voodoo that he do, gonna pay off. We see now, rotation up towards mid. But Uther in a little bit of an awkward spot. Frag Stellar thinks about going in, chooses not to. We do, by the way, we do see the taunt, the sound barrier. Garg is the pick. This is something that is pretty standard, let's be honest. Garg is just a great distraction, as well as, especially with that Vile Infection, it just chunks so much damage. Then Thornwood Vine and Cocoon. And are we going to see a potential engage here? H2O does burrow in, but doesn't take too much damage, backs out. Living Bomb does spread onto that Lucio. Chunks him a little bit, but not too much. Well, both teams posturing up now. Insomniacs waiting for Dahaka. Ooh, but Junkrat in a really bad spot there. Cocoon has to be blown to save him, as well as the sound barrier. Now, though, Kaiser, he finds himself in a zombie wall, blows the Divine Storm. But here comes the Pyroblast. It's going to hit Smog Dolphin and take him down. Kaiser survives with a less than 20 health is the number I saw. Nazebo does get picked off finally in the meanwhile. Now, Czar Salesman going to chase onto Frag Stellar. Going to look for the flip. Nubarak with a good peel there. But 2 more kills for Insomniacs as they start here on this middle shrine. Mid-fort is down. This is a chance to get a big lead. We are seeing spell armor taken by Uther. Just trying to deal with all of that Nazebo damage that can come out. Good flip on the Frank Stiller, puts him into an awkward spot. And even with the 4v3, Dahaka now burrows in, finds himself a Lunara. Good decision there made by Wienerhaven as he now eats the spikes but backs off. Ooh, crazy. A little bit of an awkward spot with that zombie wall. Toads just chunking so much damage on him as the Toads are almost done here, in fact. And the Toads of Hugeness going to get some degree of value. But it just looks like Insomniacs, they're more prepared. They're better at reacting in team fights. And this is paying off for them. They're doing great initiations. And there we go. Frozen Punisher jumps over the wall. Not really going to do much in the way of siege damage here. So it's going to be difficult even for Insomniacs, especially with only Diablo and Vala here, to even get this wall. And in fact, they're unlikely to do so. Now a little bit of an awkward spot as Diablo is currently up top. Crazy Ivan. Ooh, Junkrat dropped the zombie wall even though he found himself a Vala. Have to imagine that the Fat Finger, Apoc, trying to steer some degree of a disengage. But now with the Pyroblast coming into Lucio and H2O going down on the Anubrak, the shoe is on the other foot. As the Garg in the backline really didn't get that much value. Insomniacs now 9 kills to 0. They're just playing so well at the moment. Insomniacs now finding themselves with a bit of an opportunity. 16 into 13. 3 long levels away from 16 talents. And that's a critical spike for this Jailbait team. Insomniacs just playing very well. We're seeing now a rotation into the middle siege camp. Gelthos rotating extra safe. Rat people doing well. Taking a look at our damage numbers so far. Seeing Vala, 25k damage. Not bad, not shabby. Gelthos actually only had 13.6. But that's just because the blow-ups have been so hot and fast that he hasn't really needed to step up and make the big living bomb spreads. And Uther actually out healing a Lucio. Wonders never cease. We actually, let's take a look at that again. About 19.5 to about 30. A really good Uther play. Using the talents well. All the ultimates are up. This is not going to be a position, I think, where Jailbait can fight into this. They're going to have to just, you know, it's a shit sandwich, but they got to take a bite. They're going to have to just soak the lanes and try to find 16. But right now, they're still soaking as 5. And they're rotating as 5. Going to try to look for this Dahaka pick. But Dahaka, see, gets the memo and dives away up to this top lane now. And this 5-man rotation is just going to slow down 16 even further. As now a bunch of minions are about to die on this top wall. That's a miss soak, but instead we're seeing a rotation down onto this bot fort. Trying to get those structures, get the experience that way. It's a good choice, but I like this reaction from Insomniacs. You know, alright, well let's just get some free damage onto the keep wall. Let's make sure that our Punisher gets keep.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
As blue team does take out this fort, now Jailbait backing, but keep wall going down, and still only at level 15. Not close to level 16 at all yet. Tocha Hugeness going to get some damage, but not really a lot. But that Frog's Quest is completed now. And we will see the Mortar Punisher, Mr. John Cena himself, step up. Gets distracted by a Garg. He's got to punch the Garg. John Cena hates Gary the Gargantuan. But a good hook there. And oh my goodness, Ice Block has to be blown by Junkrat. But once again, he gets flipped. Junkrat has been the focus, and I like that call from Insomniacs. Not able to secure the kill there, but this keep is just being wailed on. This will certainly be a keep down. Now the tongue onto a Nubarak, and he's just getting absolutely decimated. Does get finished off, actually. Burrow charging under the Mortar Punisher. Mortar Punisher is down, tries to get the stun, just short of landing it against the core onto Varian. We are going to see retreat here, but that is a keep. Level 16's on the horizon, but this is 5 into 4, and Jailbait wisely chooses not to chase, but the Haka already off split soaking. Really good situation so far, Insomniacs. There's going to be a very, very short window. A very short window between when this 16 talent series is picked up and before 20 is picked up on the side of Insomniacs. And this is the window that you have to fight if you're Jailbait. Not ideal, but it's a hell of a lot better than waiting until level 20. And it looks like they're starting to rotate in. About half a level to 20. Dahaka in a little bit of an awkward position. Burrow charging away, but here comes the collapse. Interrupt comes in. APOC trying to bail Dunkstick out, but Wienerhaven, excuse me, is going to go down. But now the damage turnaround. Pyroblast comes out. Sound barrier is blown. Lucio's going to get blown up now. Crazy Ivan, though, going to get finished off by the Garg. Oh, my goodness, so much death as a Nubarak now goes down. It's 3 for 3 and counting. Diablo trying to land the charge on the Galaxy does get the finish. Meanwhile, Vala gets finished off by Varian. Kaiser now running away, using the stun to try to buy time for Diablo. Junkrat all over Uther on the chase. Junkrat's got to be careful. Charge out of the zombie wall. Now Junkrat in a little bit of an awkward spot. Varian is just backing. Now realizing he needs to peel for his buddy, but he has less health than Junkrat. Both teams going to disengage, but now that's level 20s. We got the Uther Redemption. We got the Presence of Mind. Oh boy. We got the Farflight Quiver. We got the Essence Claws. I expect to see a Hellgate, but it's still being held by Diablo. As during that time, Camp's pushing up, doing some damage, but now level 18 going to be picked up here by Jailbait. They're going to have a chance to close the gap. Their lanes being pushed in a weird way helps them a lot here, because they don't have to risk anything for soak. Kel'Thas only just now coming up. Rotation into Bruisers, trying to generate some kind of counter pressure, but this is going to take a pretty serious defense on the side of Jailbait. There's no method to picking up 20. They'll be lucky to even get 19 before this Punisher approaches the keep wall. And this is not a good situation for them. They did manage to get their first 3 kills of the game, but at the cost of 3 deaths. Nazebo still not at that level 20. Let's see what they can get here. John Cena gets baited onto the Anubarak. Good bait. Good job. Great bait made. I rate 8 of 8. As now, Punisher focusing this tower first rather than the fort. Nazebo once again in just such an awkward position. There's no way he's getting out of there. Junkrat has just kind of been in the wrong spot a couple of times, and it's been really punished. Just trying to set out that damage, but it's... You know, you need to defend the Punisher there and stay with your team. And now, here comes the flip onto Fragstellar. Fragstellar burns the Protect. There's the sound barrier. Trying to get some kind of engage, but this is 5 into 4. Punisher on the core, burning it down. H2O. Going to eat a Pyroblast, has the shield, survives with about 350 health. There's the Divine Shield onto Varian. Lucio gets stunned into the wall. The Haka grab secures the kill. The core is at 65. The core is at 50. Focuses on the Czar Salesman, trying to get him down. But that ain't who's damaging the core. Czar Salesman will die, but so will Jailbait's core. As game 1, dominant performance by Insomniacs. Very good game by them. We'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back with map number 2. And we are back on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Jailbait Insomniacs, Game 1. Insomniacs, dominating fashion. Nazebo never got his level 20 spike. But here we go. Tomb of the Spider Queen. This was Jailbait's map pick. This is a specialty of theirs. This is based a lot around how much they just love to play Nazebo. And Jailbait's Nazebo. Nazebo player, Junkrat, is very, very strong. But it got picked a couple of times in the last game. So let's see if he's able to kind of keep his wits about him. Garage ban, ETC ban. Same bans as last time. Neither team wanting to deal with that. Although I believe who banned which switch sides. So keep an eye on this draft. Do we see Insomniacs perhaps snipe that Nazebo and force Junkrat to show his skills on another hero? We shall see. Vala, though. Crazy Ivan, loving that Vala. Picks it as much as he can. Very strong hero for him. I would expect to see Nazebo here. Perhaps paired with an Anubarak, perhaps paired with a Diablo. You can see a number of things. I would like to see a pick tank here. Maybe. Or they could go for their support. As the bribery has begun. Already asking for post-game interviews. Picks still being decided on. Do we see the Nazebo? We do with the Rhaegar. So Rhaegar, very strong support at the moment. I like that support very well. Last game they had the Lucio, but it just seemed that whenever one person got out of position, the lack of cleanse really put them into kind of a bad situation. As both teams get their one tricks, and the out-tonguing begins, Monka S. Oh boy. It's getting toxic in here, boys. Getting toxic. Insomniacs, though, they're feeling it. They're feeling it. As, once again the Uther, once again the Diablo. Hey boys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Love it. This draft is 6 of 7 identical to the draft last game, it seems. Wienerhaven is being told to go home by Zer Salesman. The drama in chat. Such drama. You can only find that drama here on the Nexus Gaming series. You can't buy this drama at your local video store because your local video store doesn't exist anymore. On the bright side, no more rewinding. You don't gotta rewind Netflix. They have a robot that does all their rewinding for you. It's great. Ariel banned once again. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Although granted... Ooh, now the Leoric. Looking for potentially to deny both a solo laner as well as that kind of Diablo Leoric playstyle. Which Insomniacs has run. They ran it against a certain team called Misplacid Alts to great effect. But now, red team with another pick coming in. Another pick coming down the pipeline. Another ban, I should say. And they are going to ban the Anubarak. So not wanting the Vala to be cocooned. Now, knowing what I know about Jailbait, I would not be shocked to see a Jaina here, although I wouldn't love it. I also wouldn't be shocked to see it. The narrow choke points around the turn-ins is a place that Jailbait just loves to fight. And so because of that, they like having the Jaina, because the Ring of Frost and her Blizzard can just get oodles of value. But what do we see? Two picks to come. How do you counter this Diablo Uther ability to separate and blow someone up? They do have a cleanse, so that's good. But what else do they grab? There's the Jaina. I called it. And the Arthas. So a lot of slows and control. The Arthas is going to help prevent some of the dive. When the dive comes in, there is the cleanse, if their Rhaegar can land it. It is a tight window, but it's definitely doable. Jailbait does have themselves a pretty good support. But what are the picks now? I see Czar's pick, I see Crazy Ivan's pick, I see Kaiser's pick. There's the Kel'Thuzad. Now they need a solo laner, but the pick potential is pretty strong with that Kel'Thuzad. If the communication is there between Diablo and Kel'Thuzad, that's going to be a landed route pretty much every time. Who's their solo laner? This is a good situation draft-wise for Jailbait, because they're going to get to see the solo laner from Insomniacs and then counter it. It is going to be the Sonya. Do we see a Mythael here? Leoric is banned. So thinking about who's available, you could look at some type of ranged poke, although they already have enough of that. Dahaka can be okay. Not brilliant, but he can certainly deal with Sonya in a few ways. What is the pick? If it is Mythael, it's a little bit of a weaker front line, but it's against... It's against a team that looks pretty juicy to dive, not gonna lie. But it's gonna be a Tyrael. Is Tyrael gonna solo lane against the Sonya? I guess it can work. He's agile enough. But Sonya should win that lane. So it's gonna come down to, I think, just out wave clearing on the top side. We'll see if they can do it, but we'll be right back. Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we are back. Mic turned on this time, as we're here to face Jailbait, led by Junkrat, once again on Nazeeba. Smug Dolphin gonna be on that Tyrael. Galaxy gonna be on Jaina. H2O not on a tank. He is instead on the Rhaegar. And Frag Stellar is gonna be on that Arthas. Interesting change-up, moving the support player to Tyrael. Meanwhile, we're going to see Kaiser once again on Uther, Czar Salesman once again on Diablo, Crazy Ivan once again on Vala. We're going to see Crab People once again on a Mage with the Kel'Thuzad. And Wiener Haven is going to be that solo laner once again with the Sonya. Both teams heading towards each other. Definitely a little bit more in the way of pick potential early game on the side of Insomniacs. And Jailbait's respecting that. Backing off, they're hanging back, they're just hanging out, just having fun. They're number 1. Just hanging out, just having fun. See, Czar Salesman's a dude. Kaiser's a dude. Crab People's a dude. They're all dudes. Hey. Let's see if anyone recognizes that reference. I can't wait 3 minutes from now to see people be like, oh, I know what that is. But Alrighty, solo lane's in. Now, a couple minions of Miss Soak. Actually, quite a few minions of Miss Soak on the side of INSOMNIACS in the mid lane. So, already a little bit of an XP depth. We are seeing the stun onto Arthas. No real threat of Arthas going down. But the wave clear so far seems to be fairly even. Maybe a very... Well, once again, one minion being left behind in bot, as neither team wants to let the other get too ahead in the rotation and get that positional gank advantage. They're willing to give up minions so that doesn't happen. But a very fast clear on top, but now already minions meeting mid, as we're still seeing a top soak from INSOMNIACS. Jailbait staying top for Jailbait, but they already got the bottom cleared out, so big rotational advantage now. But decent Kel'Thuzad root with the follow-up from Vala doing quite a bit of damage. Galaxy during that time tried to go for something of a gank. Didn't really work, or at least went to the bottom shrine. But yeah, it just seems like Jailbait a little bit better in these rotations at the moment. Looking at the talents, we do have a Lightning Bond from Rhaegar, trying to get some of that extra rapier as Kaiser takes quite a bit of damage there. Some turnaround damage. But, you know, Rhaegar versus Uther, neither healer particularly strong at sustain in the early game. Both of them more reliant on burst heals. Uther more so than Rhaegar. Rhaegar certainly has the higher throughput at this point in the game, with the changes to his healing, giving him quite a bit of AoE potential, in fact. Now it looks like Crab People gonna stay and soak bottom. Ooh, but did Dunkstick get the call? Wienerhaven is in a lot of trouble. 5-man gank, huge commit to make sure they get the kill onto Sonya, and no one on the side of INSOMNIACS saw that coming. But a wave of soak missed top, but it's worth it to kill the solo laner, who's going to rotate down to cover at this point. It gives time for a turn-in for Tyrael, denies a lot of gems, as 15 gems were turned in by Tyrael. Vala going to cover bot while they wait for Sonya, but that's a lot of their wave clear. You know, pick-off can really snowball here. You get one pick-off, you slow down the rotations of the enemy team. And I love Jailbait's decision-making there. This is a map they're extremely comfortable on. This is their favorite map to play as far as I can tell. And, you know, they know how to play it, as now the pick looks like he's coming out as our salesman. Gonna be okay for the time being. Sonya actually rotating now into mid, leaving Vala to deal with Tyrael in the bottom lane as both teams poke back and forth. Neither team with enough gems to turn in yet, but there's certainly a pretty big advantage for Jailbait at the moment. Wienerhaven back down, facing Smug Dolphin. As Kaiser gonna secure the turn-in. Stun, though, onto Galaxy. You just face-checked in the wrong neighborhood. 3 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. Jaina goes down. Our salesman using that bush well, and that pick-off, you know, they're still behind in gem counts, but they have enough for a turn-in. And this is a good situation here. They need to find a way to turn in 15 more gems. Now, Sonya has 7, Diablo has 8. Uther not going to be able to get the turn in yet, but starting to get an advantage in this rotation. We are seeing a turn in bot. And it is going to be Jailbait grabbing the first turn in, despite the recent pick-off on the Jaina. Ooh, Wienerhaven needs to be careful. Once again, here comes the gank. Wienerhaven trying to make for the bottom gap, but it's not there, and there's the root into the Blizzard, but Dunkstick sustaining so high. Wienerhaven, though, is going to go down. Good chain combo. Finds the Jaina, gets a fair amount of damage as the turnaround starts to come in. But the staying on the side of Uther, this is still a 4v5 fight. Not going to be enough for INSOMNIACS to turn this around. And this Webweaver phase potential to get quite a bit of value, as we are going to see a 4-man push onto this bot lane. Zombie Wall catches Kaiser, doing some damage. But once again, just a great aggressive gank. And INSOMNIACS, they're going to have to do a better job keeping vision. They're going to have to communicate to Sonya when they lose that vision, so she can back off. It's really on them to communicate that pick, because, let's be honest, Jailbait's committing 5 people to these pickoffs. And if you can communicate it, you can make sure that those resources are wasted. Gotta be playing the patient game. As now, we're seeing Junkrat eat some Ancient Spear. Trying to get the flip onto H2O, but not enough damage following up. Web Weavers are down, though. Only 7 gems needed on the side of Insomniacs to get their own Web Weaver phase. No rush, though, as 32 gems are going to be needed on the side of Jailbait. But now a root lands onto Star Salesman. There's the KT combo, getting some decent damage onto Galaxy, but until that quest is done, not going to get there. Quest almost done, though. 28 stacks. And Kilduna can be strong on this map because of all the gems. As we see his... He only needs one more gem to be able to revive when he dies. There's the charge onto Frag Stellar. Decent damage coming back, but not a lot. As we are now seeing the Web Weavers come down. Diablo going to head... Ooh, here comes the rotation. It was spotted out this time. Sonya already on the way back. Good rotation call. Well done there. Communication was there. There was the pick attempt onto Wienerhaven, but it was called and disarmed. And because of that, that soak on the top lane that goes over to Insomniacs, that Jailbait can't counter, and that's going to give them a very slight narrow window with 10s, although 10s being picked up more or less by both teams. We do have the APOC, Shadow, Fissure, Reign of Vengeance, and Wrath of the Berserker being taken by Sonya, but Sonya, meanwhile, actually goes down to the combination of Arthas and Rhaegar, but Jaina paying for it on topside. T-Tor, I'm just missing every kill at the moment. We do see the Sank, the Ancestral, the Gargantuan, the Ring of Frost, and Army of the Dead. So, a couple of ways to save. Although there is a Divine Shield on the side of Insomniacs, going with the Divine Shield rather than the Divine Storm this time. So this is going to be interesting, because the fights could play out very long, but once again, Junkrat going to be caught out. There's the cleanse, follow up with the Ancestral, make sure Junkrat gets away. Shadow Fissure was blown, thinking Nazeebo will peel back. Ooh, Ring of Frost. Going to put the slow onto Crazy Ivan. Sanctification on the chase. Vala going to eat a root. Cleanse comes in. Here comes Sonya now diving onto the backline. Divine Shield blown onto Diablo, making sure that he can get out. Kaiser now looks like he might be the target, but now Wienerhaven taking quite a bit of damage. Gets the root. Everyone's just trying to peel out. Uther not there to heal. It looks like Insomniacs do peel out without losing anyone there. Good on them. But now, Insomniacs gonna benefit from this. They're actually really close to a turn-in. They only need 2 more gems. Dunkstick gonna finish this Merc camp by the skin of the teeth. I'm sorry, Wienerhaven gonna finish the camp by the skin of the teeth. But here we go now. Tyrael pushing it on bot, getting some soak, getting a healthy wave of spiders. Gonna push in, maybe do a little bit of damage. The first 4 of the game did go over to Insomniacs. You know, they're winning the map well. They were behind on lane rotations at a point, but they're doing good work. Pushing in on mid. They do have the Web Weavers, so trying to get mid value here. Clearing up this Bruiser camp. Ooh, good combo. Lands onto Arthas, does quite a bit of damage. Cleanse comes in a little bit late. But Crazy Ivan takes quite a bit of damage on the turnaround, diving to try to maybe go for some type of finish. Wienerhaven going to join the group. This is going to be a 5-man push into the mid, making sure this mid fort, no chance it survives. Zara Salesman going in, looking for the pick. Ooh, there's Arthas, gonna get stunned, flip back into the... But Ring of Frost hits Diablo, Ancestral gonna catch Arthas, there's the Sanctification. Good turnaround here, now this is gonna force a retreat on the side of Insomniacs. Mid fort does go down, bottom fort is quivering a bit. Looks like we'll see a rotation down there just to make sure bot fort gets secured, trying to build that experience lead. Sonya, Ancient Spear, little nifty move over the wall. Didn't have the Mystic Spear, but knew the wall was there. Great awareness by Wienerhaven. And frankly, it just looked cool. Quest starting to be completed, though. Regen Master. Or not Regen Master. Fingers of Frost. And it's going to be completed by Jaina. but sieging up onto this bottom keep wall. They're going to just try to get one of these towers, maybe two. These towers worth quite a bit of XP. Ooh, strong combo on a frag seller does quite a bit of damage. Tower should go down. And INSOMNIACS. Discretion's better part of valor. They're going to back off. Good spider phase. Already 3/4 down. Let's take a look at the keep walls. Quite a bit of damage on the top keep wall. Excuse me. As, now, there is turn-in potential. Ooh, Siege Camp. There's going to be a contest over this. 4v4 at the moment. Nazebo going to get here before Sonya from the looks of it. Ring of Frost collects Diablo and Vala. Vala going to take quite a bit of damage here. But the Rain of Vengeance going to self-peel out. Zar Salesman a little bit extended at the moment, but there's going to be a good route onto Junkrat. Ice Block has to be blown as Sonya dives in the backline. An APOC going to be nullified by the Sanctification. Now Diablo's low. He needs to back up, but Fragstellar going to get the cleanse to get away from this hungry Wiener Haven. Root going to secure the disengage for the time being. Galaxy, though, in a little bit bad spot on that Jaina. Going to get thrown behind those pottery. Uses the ice block. Rhaegar, though, going to get picked off in return. Divine Shield going to just be used to make sure the pick happens. That's 2 kills. Jaina just got a little bit left behind there. And INSOMNIACS was vicious in attacking. Showing no mercy. It's like Theramore all over again. I know nothing about WoW lore, but I'm assuming that bad things happened, and that's why Jaina is, like, sad and stuff. I don't fucking know. The bottom keep going down. INSOMNIACS just really stuck with that fight well. Wiener Haven doing just a great job keeping himself up. I love the build. Going into that extra healing on the Whirlwind, but still keeping that auto-attack self-sustain, so you're not just relying on the Whirlwind. Ancient Spear getting, or Poison Spear, excuse me, getting quite a bit of value. And now level 16 advantage, once again favoring INSOMNIACS. And they have a 4-structure lead. We've been here before. All this has happened before. All this will happen again. Wiener Haven already starting up on the top. Gonna get it to go down pretty quick. That Wrath of the Berserker, man. That PvE damage is bae. Bruiser Camp being picked up by Jailbait. But this is going to be a boss secured. And if I know INSOMNIACS, they're not going to be afraid to press the 16 advantage. Actually seeing Junkrat in a little bit of a bad spot. Here comes the initiation. Ice block blown to deny the flip. Good ice block. Zar Salesman backed up a little bit. Junkrat removed ice block at just the right time to make sure they escape. Boss still going to get this second tower. But INSOMNIACS went for a pick and didn't get it. So that is the boss getting less than it could. But I like this decision by INSOMNIACS. Make sure they get as much value as they can here. Going in and taking the front wall of mid. Now, retreat pings are coming in. They're backing up. Good play there by INSOMNIACS. Got something. Now they're looking at turn-ins again. They're 1 gem shy of a turn-in. Actually, nope. They just picked it up. So they got 4 gems now on Wiener Haven. He's going to get the turn-in. We're seeing, though, a turn-in going to be attempted on the side of Jailbait, but it doesn't come in soon enough. Wiener Haven gets the turn-in first. That's a red spider. Once again, the focus is on the Junkrat. Blizzard and Ring of Frost trying to peel him out. Diablo in quite a bit of trouble. Gets the cleanse to be able to blow the APOC. D-shield onto Diablo, making sure he can get away. First kill goes down onto Nazebo. Wiener Haven thinks about chasing Jaina. Knows the slows are there. Backs off. Fragstellar might be the target. Ancient Spear over the wall. Barely misses. Nazebo going to be the only one to fall there. But, INSOMNIACS doing good work. The chase is once again on Galaxy. And that Ancestral ain't going to save Jaina there. And this is now looking like a potential core on the side of INSOMNIACS. They're clearing the way for their spiders. Spiders are going to soak this damage. And Core being started. Wrath of the Berserker will be up in 13, not currently active. But the core already down to 75. It's down to 70. Turnaround damage coming in. Quite a bit, in fact, but there goes the root onto H2O. H2O gets separated and blown up. This could very well be the game. 40%. Smug Dolphin doesn't manage to get back to the Hall of Storms in time. Does blow up, trying to get the damage onto Wienerhaven. Wienerhaven going to get separated from the core, but it's not enough as Insomniacs takes a clean 2-0. Looking dominant in this set. Well done. So we're going to try to do a very, very brief post-game interview, and we'll be right back. Sorry, you are hearing the tapping. My bad, I still have my mic live. Alright, doing this quick. I am joined by Crazy Ivan and Insomniacs. Crazy Ivan, how you doing?
Pretty good, dude.
That was a really dominant set against a team that has looked really good with the Nazebo, so much so that a lot of teams have been denying it. What did you guys do that you're able to beat the Nazebo as clean as you were? You know, even giving Jailbait a pretty big comfort pick.
I got my comfort pick. That's what we did. Ban Vala. They didn't ban Vala. That's what happened.
Yeah, that was you know, they Vala got a lot of value there, but I gotta be honest, in that last game, the initiations were just really strong. I mean, you know, you did get a couple times where Wienerhaven, as he prefers I call him, got picked off on Sonya. You know, what adjustment, because it looked like there you made an adjustment where later they tried to rotate onto Sonya as a spider face started, and it seemed like the communication was a lot better there, the vision was better, and you're able to spot it out and get Sonya back in time. Is like, what adjustment do you make when you know that those pickoffs are likely to happen? Is there a way to anticipate them, or you just do your best to keep vision?
We pretty much just look at the minimap, and if they don't show, we freak the hell out.
All right. Well, with that, you guys now you were top 3. You just secured 3 more points. You know, you guys are doing quite well. What does this mean to you heading into the playoffs? Do you think you guys are on the upward trend, and do you think that you know, you're going to be able to challenge for the top position Division B?
Hopefully. I mean, yeah, hopefully.
All right. Well, with that, no worries, mate. No worries. All right, with that, you know, we're gonna have to cut it off there because I do have to run and cast another game. So for those watching in Twitch chat, I'm about to cast TMG versus someone. Give me a sec. TMG Red, excuse me, versus Black Hand. So that'll be on in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Alright, everyone. Bad news, bad news. The match, which had not been completely confirmed with both parties, there was some verbal back and forth, but no hard agreement. So the match is not happening right now. This isn't a forfeiture as far as the rules go, is my understanding. So this match hopefully will be played, and if I get a chance, I will try to cast it in the future. But until then, I'm going to have to end the stream there after just one game. I know there are a couple people wanting replay VODs. I'm not going to be able to do this tonight. I have to give a midterm exam for my class tomorrow. I'll try to catch up on those this weekend. So until then, I'll see you next time on the next gaming series. Take care.